Shalom, beloved. There's a lot going on in this pedo queendom. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. I can't keep up. Pedo leaders are getting riled up, censoring free speech, creating chaos events, coming after Second Amendment, gun ownership, all types of foolishness going on. Zebulon Warrior, Shalom, Barakatah, brother Israelites studying the truth, and the beloved lady Abigail, Proverbs 31 and 10. Shalom, beloved. I'm going to get ready to go into it. They've been messing with the videos and the channels. So it's been very aggravating going live. Nevertheless, I'm going to bring it out. Isaiah Snow, Shalom. Brother Ariyah, Shalom. Mahalalaha, Yahweh. That's difficult. But Shalom. Okay, brother Ariyah, I'm going to make you a moderator. All right, let's get it. Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Kol Halayla. Yahweh. Bahashem. Yahweh. Bahashem. Rakot Kadash. All praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son and our Lord and Savior, Yahweh. Much respect and honor to the brothers that are doing the work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so, and pushing this gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered abroad, and double honor and respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. There is a lot going on, and these next 90 days are going to be crucial. Beloved brother Andre serving Yahweh Shalom Barakatah. So the World Economic Forum is meeting this week, and they're coming up with a digital tracking system where human beings are going to be monitored and tracked through a digital ID. YouTube attended this Global Economic Forum as well. So they're also working on attacking so-called misinformation. Why would YouTube be attending a World Economic Forum? So they're talking about a digital ID tracking system. Those of you that have mocked the men of the Lord, the prophets that have been talking about this since day one, you need to repent. You need to repent. We're living Revelations 13, real time. We're living the might be real time. Everything we say is censored, monitored. So just me alone, somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 videos taken down. But when you start with the apostles and work your way down, over 100,000 videos removed but we still have people coming against what we teach. So if you fit that category of a mocker and scoffer, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, you're going to get your feelings hurt if you're coming against this truth. You're going to get your feelings hurt. I was too masculine for the military. They said, get this nigga out of here. We got to make you retired, Colonel. You got to go. Get this nigga out of here. So where do you think you stand in intimidating me if you being a little simp? You chimpanzees, you're going to learn today. This is not a game. We got videos being taken down and you coming against what we teach. Okay? So the Most High has made the men of the Lord a brazen wall. We're not going to be moved by feminism, broke back men, simp chimps. Okay? You're wasting your time. Shut your ass up coming against what we teach. Somebody post Sirach 27 and 2, please. Sirach 27 and 2. Shalom, beloved Maccabees. Let's go there. Sirach 28 and 16. We're not yes men or good old boys, or we're going to bow down to Edomite supremacist tyranny. Simps, Jezebels. We're not going to bow down to cave beasts. We're going to rebuke you and knock you upside the head with this rod of correction, the Bible. Brother Yahweh the Maccabees, Sirach 28 and 16. The book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 16. Whoso hearkeneth unto it. Let's go to verse 15. A backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors. Whoso hearkeneth unto it shall never find rest and never dwell quietly. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. So the Most High has given us a mouth and tongue that cannot be gainsaid. This word is likened unto a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces, and like a consuming fire. That's why when you come against what we teach, you feel like your soul is burning from the inside out. Brokebacks can't handle us. Simps with long hair and braids going down to their ass, they can't handle us. Jezebels are hated. They're used to us being a good boy. A coochie worshiping simp. They're used to that. So when we rebuke them and tell them to shut their ass up, they can't take it. The caveman hate us. He want to kill us all. We told you. Why you think he's working on these? See, I can't even say it. The hokey pokey or the Fauci ouchie. It's a damn shame. We got to use kindergarten language like we in the damn first grade because the caveman is hurt. Okay? So anybody coming against what we teach, you're going to get your heart pulled out of your chest through the Spirit. I'm just telling you. Let's go here. Sirach 27 and 2. So they're going to make a new ID digital tracking system. Why? Let's read it. Brother Andre serving Yahushua. Sirach 27 verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stone, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you've been tagged like cattle. How many have ever seen cattle tagged? I'm going to show you. So if you're not plugged into this beast system, you're not going to be able to travel, buy or sell. Let's pull this up. This is how a lot of you jakes are going to be walking around. Okay? Bug out. But you wanted to be a simp and come after the men of the Lord. Your ass is going to be tracked like an animal and tagged. Okay? You've been warned. You've been warned. You can't say you didn't know. We're tired of the games. Tired of the games. Okay? All you simps, you coochie worshiping men, look, this is you. This is you right here. Okay? I'm just telling you. Don't get mad at me. I'm not worshiping my wife's clitoris. You are. So you weak ass men sitting back on the sideline worshiping Eve's clitoris. You're going to die here in Babylon. You've been warned. You're not feeding the sheep or edifying the lambs. You're going to die here as a depressed chimp. You've been warned. Let's go here. Brother Andre serving Yahushua. That brother go hard. Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. By the way, I remember going hard, rebuking Ain't No Microchip Man. A lot of you bug outs was on my comment board saying leave him alone. He's a brother. No, he's not. Anybody not talking about this, they're not in the truth. They're not in the truth. He's gotten worse since then. And that was about 2 years ago. So when you rebuke a reprobate, they get worse. Tired of the games. The Most High has raised up men that are not scared. And if you're going off, we're going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why I'm aggravated today. I go to a favorite coffee spot, and I won't say where. Everything is nice and quiet. And a chimpanzee wearing long shit locks going down to his ass comes in there cursing out the nice young ladies. And they treat me like a king when I go in there. And I go in there every day. They said, sir, please just be patient and wait a minute. We got a patient ahead of you. He starts calling the women bitches and F you and all this stuff. The Most High's got to get rid of you chimps. A dark-skinned chimpanzee wearing long shit locks going down to his butt. Okay? These are the same men that killed the prophets in the days of old. They're back. You thought ninjas died off, became extinct. No, they didn't. They're back. Everybody is back in their life. So I'm trying to enjoy myself with a nice cup of coffee, listening to music, and sit back and relax. So these are some wicked ninjas that the Most High has got to detox the nation of Israel. I think Elder Apostle Gabar called it ethnic cleansing. We need it bad. You ever heard of a barium enema? They got to go in and get rid of all the dung, all this dung, poop, and clean that out. Sometimes worms, all types of filth. That's the two-third Israelites. You got to go. I mean, you saw the wicked Eve twerking in Florida at a McDonald's. She jumped her nasty ass up on the counter and started twerking after cursing out the employees. These are two-third wicked-ass Israelites. The Bible says 2/3 of you are going to die here in America. 2/3. Let's go here. Yep. Brother Yahweh the Maccabees. Let's go here. Exodus 21:6. The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 6. Let's go to verse 6. Let's go to verse 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. So a lot of Israelites, they love their slave master. They've gotten married here in their captivity, had children. So they're in love in the place where they've raised up families. You start playing that old school music, they start to reminisce when they was a young snotty-nosed child, listening to Otis Redding, running around the backyard, eating barbecue, pork ribs, you see? So they begin to reminisce. They love their slave master. So they're going to agree to this. See? The Bible covers everything. Start playing the Temptations. What's that song? You know, what was that song there? They play at every black cookout. A family, how it go? Man, somebody can think of it. You're my hero. They play it at every black barbecue cookout. You see, another one is Temptations. Celebration time. Come on. Yeah, remembers Lot's wife. Well, this is you. Yeah, talking about having a family. So you're going to reminisce and agree to get tagged. You love your master. Let's read that again. Verse 6. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. This is what they're discussing at the Global World Economic Forum. So you're going to serve your master forever. Esau has Bible scholars that give him advice. Thank you. Family reunion. That's the song. So once you hear that music, you see, it's a family reunion, celebration time. Go ahead and chip me up, master. I remember the days of old, coming up as a chimp, serving you, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and bow down. That's the 2/3 Israelites. They love it here. They're happy. And they want things to go back to the old way, when they can serve their master without any distractions of the prophets prophesying that Babylon is going to burn. Okay? And the caveman is going into the cotton field. So they want us to shut up so they can serve him freely. They're tired of us. They killed us in the old days. Let's keep going. Yep. We're going to go here and read a popular scripture. Let's go to Revelations 13. Revelations 13. Go ahead and poke me, boss. Poke me, boss. I'm ready for you there, boss. Go ahead and poke me. Yep, unbelievable. You 2/3 got to go. And Eve, stop laying down with these orangutans. You're helping to contaminate the rest of the free world. Okay? Let's go here. Revelations 13. Let's go to verse 14. No, we got to go up to 13. No, we got to go up. Let's go to verse 12. Revelations 13. And when I do that, that's the Holy Spirit doing that. I want to go here. The Spirit is like, no, go here. See? Revelations 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So this is this is the Roman Empire coming up with a two-party system, the plebeians and the patricians. So in modern times, you have Democratic and Republic. So this beast looks like its mother, Rome, and it's coming up out of peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. It matches Revelation 12. Let's get it. Revelation 12, verse 13. No, let's go to verse 3. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. These are the kingdoms of Rome. Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, Spain, Great Britain, Rome, Greece. So we're talking about the Roman Empire. See? So it's coming up out of the earth. Why is it a wonder in heaven? It's reigning or ruling over the kings of the earth. Heaven, or one of its definitions of heaven, is rulership. The great red dragon is Edom, the so-called white man. Now let's go back to Revelations 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So he comes off with this democratic system of 2 parties, where he gives you the illusion that you can vote and make a difference in society. So he speaks peace, but his policies is as a flame-breathing dragon. Illegal and unlawful mandates, like the hokey pokey, the Fauci ouchie. So he speaks smoothly and looks innocent and gives you the illusion under his democratic process that you can vote and make a difference. They don't trust you. They see you as a chimpanzee. So what makes you think that your vote counts? Are you crazy? All of the elected leaders are not elected. They're selected. And all of their bloodlines cross one another. Do the research if you think I'm making this up. Adolf Hitler, on his mother's side, is related to Obama's mother. Let me say that again. Adolf Hitler, on his mother's side, is related to Barack Obama through his mother. See? Revelations 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. He speaks through draconian laws, illegal mandates, unrighteous decrees. But really, he's committing crimes. What crimes? See? But he speaks and looks like an innocent lamb, like he ain't done nothing. So, dragon goes back to Draco, the ancient Athenian leader that imposed cruel, harsh laws and executed extreme capital punishment, putting people to death. So the Bible is a true book. We've witnessed the re-emergence of the Roman Empire that received a deadly wound starting as early as 90 AD and into 300 AD and fell. And about 1,000 years afterwards, it's being reborn during the Renaissance, which means rebirth. Revelation 13, verse 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So they were reborn during the Renaissance. They fell by the Israelites, and they came back stronger, more lethal firepower, air power, great signs and wonders. The ancient Roman Empire used catapults, which looks like a damn slingshot that would cause fire to come down on you. They would slingshot a large fiery ball and destroy you. In just hours, you were gone. The revised Roman Empire has air power, warships, naval ships, jets, planes. So they came back more lethal than its mother. Yup, Brother Shapah of the 12. Shalom Barakatah. Ecclesiastes 1, verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us. Beautiful. Everything is reincarnated and comes back. The prophets, simps, coons that love their slave master, that said, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. They're all back. Ecclesiastes 1, verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So when we come back, we don't remember our first lot, our second lot, third lot. We come back and everything is made new again. What if you could remember being lynched, having your nutsack cut out, being butt broken in front of your wife and kids? You would be bugged out, crazy as hell walking around, thinking something biting you or attacking you every moment. Remember Friday where Chris Tucker smoked that crazy stuff and he kept saying, get off me? You would be like that. But the Most High is generous, where he wipes our slate clean and we're born again, made new, and there is no remembrance of former things. Through the Most High's grace and mercy. Let's keep going. Revelations 13, verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Firepower. Now they're doing this with missiles, artillery, bombs, aircraft. Remember the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Big Man and Little Boy, whatever the hell their name was. Fat Man and Little Boy or something like that. Revelations 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. So that image is Rome, God, its religious worships, and its economic and political processes. So it's built as a replica of the model of Rome. To become an attorney, you got to learn the Roman language, Latin. To become a doctor, you got to learn the Roman language, Latin. Look at your money. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. Novus ordo seclorum. New order of the ages, or new world order. As is the mother, so is the daughter. Thank you, Brother Ariyah. Fat boy and little man. So the caveman named these atomic bombs after cartoon characters, like it's a game to slaughter massive people. So America, the European Union, and NATO is the revised Roman Empire. Their technology has caused them to advance. Their military lethality has caused them to spread abroad. 800 U.S. military bases around the world. Over 800 U.S. military bases and United States embassies are dispersed around the world, along with the United Nations embassies. Yep, Brother Shaphat of the 12, Daniel 2 and 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Brass, the Greeks, followed by their brothers, the Romans, iron. So Rome built on iron that's stronger, that has stronger physical properties. So its military, its strength is in its iron teeth. It's military. How many have heard the term, he was armed to the teeth? The Bible uses that terminology. He was armed to the teeth, which represents military. So America and its allies, NATO and the EU, have great iron teeth and advanced, highly lethal military, and a projection army, and a projection force, which means it can project its military power anywhere in the world within 4 to 7 days. A projection military prowess. Revelations 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So they create laws that if you don't follow, you're put to death. They create draconian policies that are harsh, cruel. So you are slain if you don't get on board and play well. So the law incorporates capital punishment. So they're using the law. Somebody post that. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Let us use the law to oppress the poor, righteous man. So you're put to death under the death penalty if you break their existing laws. Capital punishment. if you don't comply with its economic, political, and diplomatic systems. And they will use the police force or a military force to destroy you. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So this is one of the agendas of the World Economic Forum. You're going to be put to death or interned in an internment facility, a concentration camp, if you don't become a good boy. They're going to have to kill some of the prophets. We're not made to be a good boy. Okay? Drop dead, caveman. I'm just telling you. Brother Adam Nana, Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 10. Let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let's go to verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So they're using the law to help reinforce oppression. If you don't get tagged and bagged, if you don't get the Fauci ouchie, if you don't get the hokey pokey, then they're going to use the military to reinforce unrighteous decrees. They're going to let the law be justice, reinforced with the sword. Brother Maccabees 144, Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So they're prescribing death. They're prescribing sickness. They're prescribing pain, sorrow, and suffering. They are prescribing death. Yeah, we got to talk like we in first grade because of this damn devil. And there's still a chimpanzee out there talking about y'all teaching false doctrine. Prove what you're saying. Well, nigga, you ain't got to prove nothing to you. Nothing. Hey, listen, don't go back and forth with a zoo animal. It's a waste of time. Imagine arguing with a chimp. You're going to look like a fool from a distance. See that? What if you walked up on Amawan Abad, I'm arguing with an orangutan? Both of us are bugged out. Okay? Anybody can't get it? Listen, we moving on. These savage beasts, this doctrine is too pure for them. Nothing pure can go into a defiled vessel. Okay? Why would you give a monkey your best wine, a $500 bottle of wine, and you're going to let a damn monkey drink it? Hell no. Hell to the no. Same with this doctrine. You feeding a chimpanzee a $1,000 bottle of wine or more. See, it's ridiculous, right? Okay. Same with this truth. Waste of time. Brother Gabar Adama, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. His wine is his doctrine, his philosophies, feminism, Edomite supremacist tyranny, women's liberation, simpism, false Christianity. See? So he transgresseth by false doctrine and man-made philosophies. Brother Prince of Yahweh, Job 19, verse 12. His troops come together and raise up their way against me and encamp round about my tabernacle. They're going to come in with military. Let's go back to Brother Gabar Dama. Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. Over 800 military bases are around the world. So the daughter of Babylon sits on many waters, peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues, and rule over the kings of the earth, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. See? So this is the daughter of Babylon, the great whore that rules over the kings of the earth, and that sits upon many waters. She has a projection air force, a projection military that can invade your lands within 4 to 7 days, anywhere around the world. So the words of the Bible is a pure wine, a vintage wine. It's not made for everybody. The masses of the world are likened unto savage beasts, according to the scriptures. They're defiled, they're wicked, they're hateful, the cage of every unclean and wicked, hateful bird. They're unclean creatures. Brother Yahweh Maccabees, Sirach 21 and 19. The book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 19. Doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet, and like manacles on the right hand. So trying to teach a fool doctrine, it's like he's being bound with chains. He feels like it's a constraint or a limitation or a burden. It's a stumbling block, which is spiritual. The word, Yahweh Shai, is a stumbling block unto the wicked, unto the two turds that despise this word and love their slave master. Go ahead and poke me, master. I'm going to bend over for you there, boss. And I'm going to bend over there, boss. And you go ahead and poke when you're ready. And if you poke, I won't choke, because I trust you there, master. Oh, master. Now you see why they had to retire my ass. Okay? Get this ninja out of here. Well, I'm still standing, caveman. I'm still standing here, caveman. I'm still here. These wicked two turds ought to be ashamed of themselves. And they went out and voted for the damn devil. How many remember the video I did saying that Joe Biden is going to be used as the front man to usher in the New World Order? It's about 2 years old. It's probably been taken down or shadow banned. Yeah, go ahead and butt bust me there, boss. Butt bust me there, boss. Most High's got to kill 2/3 of you black ninjas. You got to go. And Eve, shut the door to these animals so that you cannot help to contaminate the rest of the free world. Like that long-haired ninja that disrupted my coffee morning, coming in there cursing and yelling at everybody. A straight chimp. Let's keep going. Oh, master. Nobody can do me like you there, master. Nobody can do me like you there, boss. Brother Bakiyar Yasharala, Genesis 32 and 11. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. So the Edomites have a perpetual hatred against Jacob. They want to kill us all. They want to enslave the world and make Jacob his servant. Remember in Genesis 27, it was prophesied that the caveman shall serve his brother. But he's trying to switch the Most High script, flip the script, and get eternal rulership. He thinks his houses shall continue forever. Brother Bakiyan Yasharala, Genesis 32, verse 12. And thou saidest, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. See, this is why Abram became Abraham, the father of a great multitude. You see, a lot of you two-turd chimps, your ass got to go. You got to go. Okay? And if you understand, in the spirit, they gave up Yahushua. They said, we have no king but Caesar. See? Same niggas. And you thought they became extinct and died out some damn where. They're back. They're back. Let's read the caveman's innermost perverted thoughts. He thinks his cave animal kingdom is going to continue forever. But the Most High is going to shut it down. Shut down the animal kingdom. Let's go ahead and tap into the innermost thoughts of these savages. Brother Shaphat of the 12, Psalms 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Africa, Leoscipio Africanus. Asia, Leoscipio Asiatus. America, Amerigo Vespucci. So this devil has his fingerprints on every landmark throughout the earth. They move landmarks and relabel it and make it look like it originated underneath the red people. All lies. It didn't originate under them. They stole it. They just relabel and repackage it. How many remember that scene in American Gangster when Denzel said, why do you gotta make it weak and chop it up and still name it Blue Magic? It's pure in its own original state. So this word is pure. It's doctrine. We don't need to add or take away. So we have a base man ruling over us. There's some unconfirmed reports. I gotta say this. I gotta say it like this. Unconfirmed reports that these chemical trails, they spray out. One moment. I might not need to say it. One moment. Trimethylene. Trimethylene and barium aluminum. And when you look at those two elements, barium and aluminum, when you put them together, it's Baal. Baal, which is a false god, the devil. See? And trimethylene that we're breathing in. Unconfirmed reports. And barium aluminum, which makes us, there's a process called ionization in chemistry and physics. So we become magnetized, where we're being prepped. It's like a software download preparation. We're being prepped to be integrated into machine. Transhumanism. You see? And we're breathing in trimethylene, which is gas, and barium aluminum from these chemical trails. Unconfirmed reports. Damn devils, man. see what we got here. Yup. Brother Maccabees, 144. Let's go here. First, Brother Ariah, Job 20 and 28. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. So everything that they stole through bloodshed, rape, robbery, and murder, they're going to lose it in one day, 1 hour, under our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. Let's go here. Brother Yahweh the Maccabees, Job 24 and 2. Everything they stole, they're going to vomit it up again. They stole the children of Israel. They stole the Lord's treasure, his crown jewels. You got to vomit it up, K-Beast. So we're in the belly of the beast. Just like Jonah was in the belly of the beast. We are figuratively swallowed up in the belly of the beast. Brother Yahweh Maccabees, Job 24, verse 2. Let's go to verse 1. Why seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty? Do they that know him not see his days? Some remove landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof. They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge. They turn the needy out of the way. The poor out of the earth hide themselves together. So we try to hide when we see this damn devil coming. We know he's trying to colonize us. Rape the women. Buck break the men. Make the men submissive. Back-broken simps. And make the women aggressive. One day I said hi to a woman. She looked at me like she wanted to whip my ass. And I'm 6'3", 270. All I do is weight lift and train. And she looked at me like she ready to whip my ass. So the men are made into simps and brokebacks and very effeminate, emasculated. The women act like wild wildebeest with long blonde hair. This is some straight bullshit we're dealing with here on this earth. Ridiculous. Yep. Brother Andre serving in Hawashai. Jeremiah 51, verse 44. And I will punish Baal in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he has swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together anymore unto him. It's talking about Esau, Edom, and his kingdom, the daughter of Babylon. They swallowed up the Lord's crown jewels, the Israelites. The wall of Babylon shall fall. Beautiful. So this great whore is going to come down with great violence. What crimes? Shut up, devil. What crimes? Ridiculous. We're breathing in barium aluminum, unconfirmed reports. We're breathing in I keep forgetting the name of it. Trimethylene. Unbelievable. Oh, just got a scoffer. Talk about naked HD. See, we know we're teaching the truth. Let's get one of my favorite scriptures. We have a mouth that cannot be gainsaid nor resisted. Let's go here. Luke 21, let's go to verse 12. Luke 21, verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. These FEMA camps and concentration camps are already operational. Look up the CDC Green Zone. Luke 21, verse 13. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it, therefore, in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. So we're being led by the Spirit of the Lord. We're being led by the Holy Spirit. Luke 21, verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. By the way, it says, so they can't resist what we're teaching. Do you see the men of the Lord or the elect going to the Ku Klux Klan websites or live streams? We disagree. We disagree. No, because we know it's all bullshit. But the Bible is pure. It's true. Why you think demons keep coming against what we teach? Mockers and scoffers. Who rules in synagogues? It says, delivering you up to the synagogues. Read Revelations 2 and 10. See? I'm going to leave it at that. Because if I go into detail, guess what? They will take down the video. Amalek. Brother Andre serving Yahushua. Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So listen, we're rebuking this world because it hates the light. This world is in gross darkness. So the Most High has a pure seed on the earth. Elect. We're not contaminated by the ways of this world. We rebuke the ways of this wicked world, this pedo queendom. You Americans pay your tax dollars to pedophiles. And then most of your money go over to Nazis in the Ukraine. Absolutely ridiculous. Unconfirmed reports. Unconfirmed reports. So there's a large Nazi population, purportedly, allegedly, unconfirmed. $40 billion of your taxpayers' money have gone over there, but you lack baby formula for your babies. And paying pedophiles each year, your tax money. They go out on large cruise liners. They go out on a cruise ship and eat caviar, lobster tail, steaks, T-bone steaks and eggs, while you're paying your money to these devils. Brother Ariah, Job 15 and 16. How much more abominable and filthy is man which drinketh iniquity like water. So they consume toxicity and they spew it out to the other nations. So all the nations are drinking from the fountain of wickedness, drinking from cisterns of idolatry, man-made philosophy and doctrines. The caveman has polluted and contaminated all the foundations of the earth. So they hate the men of the Lord that rebuke and negate, or the gates, leaders, rulers. Gates represent leaders. In the ancient world, you had to go through where the leaders stood at the main gates to enter into a city or community or township. Let's go here. Brother Zadok, Shalom Barakatah. Brother Zadok, Ecclesiastes 9, verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Many of our women and men, they walk by us and mock and scoff. They think we're just grimy ass niggas that are disgruntled. They don't know we're reading from the Bible. We're the prophets of the Lord. Who told you they're going to bring a new world order, a new digital ID, transition into a digital cryptocurrency? Who told you war was coming between God and Magog, stirring up the Medes against the daughter of Babylon, Armageddon, World War III? Who told you you're going to be tagged and bagged? And it's going to come a point in time where you can't travel unless you've been tagged and bagged. Who told you these things? Or are we just conspiracy theorists? How dumb must you look right now? All you that come against what we say and it came true, you need to apologize. Dear apostles and elders and big brothers, my apologies for being a simp. I've repented from being simple, a retard. Please forgive me and allow me back into the congregation. Please, I'm a changed man. I've been washed by the word, renewed and cleansed by the doctrine of the fountains of living waters. Please forgive me. I repent, and I'm a new creature. Brother Andre serving Yahushua, Sirach 13 and 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man hold his tongue and look. What he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if a poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? So we worship mammon. We worship and respect wealth, titles, positions. When the caveman speaks, you Jakes become a good boy, a good old country ninja that used to eat fat back and damn pig feet and chitlins. You become a good boy, docile, well-mannered, okay? Bowing your head, folding your hands behind your back, very submissive, humble. Our women too, same. When they go to work, showing all their teeth like a Colgate Dentine commercial. Then they come home telling you to sit your ass down. You ain't my daddy, you see? But you was just showing all your teeth at work to boss. So the caveman gets all reverence and respect, dignity, honor, and he stole every damn thing. So you're showing your allegiance and your faith is with status, position, riches gotten by the sea, wealth. Your allegiance is not to truth and purity. You see? So the Most High's got to get rid of you. The Roach Motel is getting ready to get thrown out. And the rat traps got to be taken out to the dispenser, the fire dispenser. You love your slave master. You worship the devil. You either worship Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai or you worship the devil. There is no in between. Sick of you damn wicked ass Jakes. Brother Shaphat of the 12, Ephesians 4 and 11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers. What are we reading about? The congregation of Israel, the body of Hamashiach, the church, which is the body of Hamashiach, Yahushua. Order. Brother Shaphat the 12, Ephesians 4 and 12. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. I told you. So that's the church. What does edify mean? To build. So while we're building, all types of relentless attacks is coming against this temple being built. Chimpanzees are attacking. Orangutans, kangaroos. All types of demonic forces are coming against this truth. Cockroaches, rats, scorpions, dogs, okay? But we got to put on the full armor, the breastplate of faith. Same brother, Shabbat the 12, Ephesians 4 and 12, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in the unity of faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. So this ministry builds men, and under us a order of ladies that are tender and delicate, not acting like a wild bulldog or a man or a wildebeest with blonde hair. So this ministry creates order, apostles, prophets, teachers, evangelists. Everybody is being set back in their lot. When you're building a temple, you got stones on top of one another. You see, that are, staggered. And then you got stones staggered side by side. So we're building on one another, subject to one another, and building each other up. Order is being established. And the animal kingdom hated this land of gross darkness. The pedo queendom is being turned upside down by the word. Brother Shabbat the 12, Ephesians 4 and 14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and from, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So imagine trying to build a house, and a hurricane comes in. Your foundation and everything, if it's not built on a solid rock, everything's going to be destroyed. So false doctrines is like a storm, winds, destruction. See that? So you just keep rebuilding the same rocks that got knocked down when you jump to different doctrines. I'm going to read the Book of the Dead. The secrets of Isis. For what? Why would you read the Book of the Dead when we study the book of life? But Jake want to go deep. See how deep we can go. I want to go deep. Yeah, deep into hell. Judgment. I have to get ready to close out. My voice is getting dry. That's right. Everything is being set back in order. Shalom, beloved, fishers of the hopeful elect. Fishers of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Brother Andre serving Yahushua. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. No, we're going to make women the head of the congregation. That's out of order. The Most High set men over the congregation. That's Numbers 27, verses 16 through 18. So we're building on order, which starts with our head, Yahushua, under the Most High. Brother Bakiyar Yasharallah. I'm drinking alkaline water. This presentation brings to you alkaline water, featuring, no, I'm just playing, Brother Bakiyar Yasharallah, Ezekiel 11, verse 19. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh. So this Bible takes us from being unclean creatures to being friends with the Most High, reconciled back into the covenant of peace. Remember, the Bible says we became his enemies. Remember? He says, I have cast them down like an adversary, an enemy, unclean creatures. So once we're reconciled back, we're treated as tender and delicate again, as friends with the Most High. So the Spirit is moving when we're reading scriptures like this. Brother Bakiyar Yasharal. So when we sinned, we were called what? Wild beasts or unclean beasts. Brother Bakiyar Yasharal. Ezekiel 11, verse 20. That they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. So when we're outside of the covenant, outside of his word, we're becoming unclean creatures, beasts. So we were not a people. We were cast away as an enemy, unclean creatures, and treated as beasts. I mean, who else would hang a man? Castrate him like you do a bull, and he becomes a bullock. You see? So we were treated like beasts under these Edomites because we were outside of the covenant, his word. So he gave us up to be sacrificed because we forsook his peace offering, his word. See? Brother Adam Nana. Brother Adam Nana, Sirach 47, verse 9. He set singers also before the altar, that by their voices they might make sweet melody and daily sing praises in their songs. He beautified their feasts and set in order the solemn times until the end, that they might praise his holy name, and that the temple might sound from morning. So the temple is being built under a joyful song, a new song, this new doctrine, the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We're singing unto the Lord through the melody that he recognizes. He recognizes this sweet melody. It's like a sweet savor, the proverbial music in the Most High's ears. We're singing unto the Lord the song of Moses, the victory song that we sang when the Most High took down our enemies. So as this ark or this temple is being built, we're singing. Remember the ancient songs in the days of old when we were out underneath our oppressors. That is an old song, a song of servitude, the old gospel or the old Negro spirituals, so to speak. But now that we've come into this word, we're singing the victory song of freedom and release from bondage. The captive daughter of Zion is being released from her prison sentence with the sweet melody, the songs of joy, the songs of the doctrine of deliverance and redemption and freedom for the hopeful elect of the house of Israel, the tabernacle of David. The tabernacle of David is being raised up, and the remnant of the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. We got next, Lord willing, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, and the Baba, Barakathum, Shalom. Love you. Love you, beloved. Barakathon. Oh, real quick. There's an article that I read. They taking these UFOs serious. We almost out of this pedo queendom. AKA, we're almost out of this bitch. They held a high-level senior executive meeting on these so-called UFOs that the men of the Lord have been teaching about, the prophets. But I thought we were crackpots or wearing an aluminum foil hat. All you bug-out chimps, repent. You see, they're taking this thing serious. We told you the chariots of the Lord were coming and getting ready to bring judgment. They just held a high-level meeting, and they're concerned about the chariots of the Lord that have gathered or congregated together in mass. They are pre-postured, like in an attack mode, pre-postured. So these next 90 days are going to be interesting. Expect things to ramp up. More mandates. Okay? More sickness. Curious George sickness. That bullshit, that's coming. The Curious George breakout. Or the King Kong breakout is coming. Okay? Straight bullshit. So expect these next 90 days to be full of drama. Initiated by the devil, the caveman. We told you. But you mocked the men of the Lord. So these next 90 days, Curious George is going to become worse. Or King Kong. Expect that to exacerbate or get worse. Is what I mean. Okay? More friction and tension with Taiwan and China. Friction and tension with Iran and Israel. So we got to stay grounded in this word. And remember to call upon Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, in our days of trouble. The Most High will not neglect his elect. Kwam Yasharah and the Bible. Barakathon. Shalom.